a balanced life strategist, mentor, and healing specialist. Ladies and gentlemen, my dear friend Lesley Geronimo.
Hello, Carla. Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me in your very first program in Eat, Play, Heal.
I know, I'm so excited because it's the first webinar of Eat, Play, Heal. And we have future webinars coming up. And of course, we would love to hear from you because this is the very first. And of course, I can never have my first without you, Lesley. My dear friend Lesley here, we've been doing our fitness events for a long time now. And so right now, where are you?
Well, right now, as you can see, this is real. It's not a fake background. I'm on top of the mountains. I actually live in one of the mountains in the northern part of the Philippines. So this is my view every
Wow.
day. This is just one version of my view. I have many views similar to this,
Can you just
and it's just
imagine that?
amazing every day.
And of
What's
course,
that? Sorry.
because with the view that you have, our topic is resonates with it because we're talking about self-care, self-development, and self-mastery. And right now you're gonna give us 4 tips on self-care.
Yes. And I do understand that you want to focus on the healing aspect, right? But like what I
Yes.
mentioned to you before, when I deal with my clients, I help them through their self-care, self-development, and self-mastery. So with self-care, um, so just don't mind it if it starts raining, okay? Because we're in the middle of nature. I think it's going to rain soon. But anyway,
Not at all.
it looks
It's
dark
all
right now.
natural.
Earlier, it was still bright. That's the thing. If you're in nature, it's just very
Hmm.
you just go with the flow and very natural. But anyway, going back to the topic with self-care, talking about healing, it's not just the healing if you're sick, right? It's more of healing every aspect of your life. So with self-care, I'll give you 4 tips today. First of all, you need to assess where you're at right now, right? So how would you know what to heal if you don't know where you what your status is? Like, how are you physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually? So you need to understand where you're at right now. And aside from that, you need to also understand how you're doing in your 5 key areas of life. So there's family and work, there's social life and environmental contribution, there's health and recreation, and there's spiritual life. So health is not just the physical health or the mental health or the emotional health. It's also health in all your 5 key areas of life. And so my first tip is assess how you're doing. So you if you do a SWOT analysis for companies, like for example the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Have you heard of the SWOT analysis, Carla,
Hmm.
before?
Yes.
So if you do that for companies, why not do it on yourself, right? So you can do a SWOT analysis on yourself in terms of those 5 key areas of your life. So that's my first advice, for my first tip, just so you understand how you really are doing. Because some people might seem happy or they project they're happy, or some people are feeling like they're not doing well. But actually, if they look at their key areas of life, they're actually doing well. So you need to have a realistic picture or overview of how you really are doing as a person, your total well-being. So your
Mm.
every aspect of your life. So that's the first one. So
That's
the
why the
second
question,
one,
like when the
sure.
question, sorry, but the question like how are you doing is literally like how are you doing inside and out, right? So
Yes.
in terms of like all the well-being that we have to assess first where are we at, what the situation is, what is around us, and everything.
Yes. Well,
Okay.
of course, if somebody will ask you, "Oh, how are you?" You won't give a full explanation of,
No,
"Oh,
of
this is
course
I'm
not.
doing like this." But this is
Of
for
course
you
not.
internally. Like it's for your personal assessment of yourself.
Right.
So that's my first advice. Do a SWOT
Okay.
analysis of the 5 different of your 5 key areas of your life.
Got it.
Okay.
Okay.
So my second tip, for so the second, third, and fourth, I will ask you to participate, okay? Because like what the proverb says, tell me and I will listen, show me, I will understand, but involve me and I will learn. And of course, you will remember when I involve you, right? So my second tip would be like what the other speakers, what your other guests mentioned earlier. It's about exercise, right? So you need to exercise and with proper breathing. So let's just do a quick demo. I'll just do a quick exercise. I mean, uh,
Mm-hmm.
so if you exercise just a normal breathing, there's a difference between just breathing normally like this and actually doing a maximum oxygenation for your whole system. Because anything that you combine, like any movement that you combine with proper breathing, makes that part of your body healthier and younger. So the
I was
breathing will
telling
be
them
a deep.
about the breathing exercises. What are the
Okay.
advantages of knowing how to breathe? I mean, what are the advantages? Could you like enlighten all of us?
Okay. Well, of course you need to do the proper breathing, right? We can survive a few days without food
No
and
way.
a few minutes without I mean a few days without food and water, but we cannot survive more than a certain number of minutes without air. So breathing
Yes.
is really important.
Mm-hmm.
So when we exercise or when we meditate, there's a certain type of breathing that actually increases the oxygenation or the oxygen saturation in your system, which also contributes in a better or enhanced metabolic process in your body and also purifies your body more effectively. So it's really important that you breathe properly. So earlier I was trying to teach you to show you a comparison between how it feels with that kind of breathing that I taught and with just the regular breathing. And if
Right.
you compare the right arm would actually feel younger. And then, um, yes, if you notice that. So later you can just try and see how it feels. Just do this without the breathing and compare the
Right.
left and the right. And then do this with the breathing and then compare the left and the right. So just
Mm-hmm.
see if it really feels lighter or if it feels younger. And just
Mm-hmm.
imagine if you do certain exercises with that kind of breathing every day,
Yeah.
imagine what the effect is in your body, right? So that's that. And you've also experienced the other exercises that I was teaching before for
Right.
our other events. So those are examples also of what you can do to heal your body in terms of taking out any diseased energy, any stale energy in your system. Okay, so that's tip number two. Tip number three is I would recommend for you to meditate. Do you meditate, Carla?
I try to. I'm not going to lie. I don't. I try to do
Okay.
my in the morning when I wake up. I make sure not to look at my phone or anything. So maybe like even for 5 minutes, I just like stare at something. Is that meditation? I don't think of
Which one?
anything. When I
Of
wake
again?
up, when I wake
Mhm.
up and then I just like stare and not do anything and just breathe. And so is that meditation?
That can be a form of meditation.
So
Well,
yeah, I do some form of it.
there's actually different types of meditation. There's actually 12 types of meditation, and most people they meditate to either relax or to calm down or to center themselves or to be mindful or to be in the now. You always hear these
Okay.
words, right?
Yeah.
But you can
In the
also
now.
use meditation as a form of healing. It's a healing tool, actually. Um, it can also train the power of your mind. It can also center your different energy centers. So there, this is a whole discussion that we can maybe
Yeah.
talk about
We'll
later
we'll
on.
have we'll have a webinar for that one with meditation with
Yeah.
Lesley. So
And
that's
if
number
you want,
3.
yeah, so that's number three,
Okay.
the meditation. If you want, I can
Mm-hmm.
actually show you or involve you in a really quick meditation later if you like, just so you
Later on, we'll see. Later on.
experience firsthand, yeah, how
Yeah.
it
I would
is.
love to have that. Yeah. I would love to have
Yeah.
that. Okay, so what's number 4?
Okay, number 4. So in terms of healing, of course, everything that's happening in our life right now is also caused by our past actions or our past experiences, right? And a lot of us um, probably still have things that they are carrying from the past. So my advice or my tip is for us to learn how to forgive. It's an easy thing to say, but it's not easy to do for some people. Some people still hold grudges from many years ago, and until now, they still have that in their heart. So, my advice, my tip is for you to forgive, learn to forgive. And actually, there's also a healing meditation that can help with this in terms of forgiving other people. Because let's say you want to forgive someone and you can't physically tell the person that you forgive them, maybe because of distance or whatever is the reason why you're not able to connect with this
Mm-hmm.
person. You can actually do it on your own as a meditation practice. I actually taught you this also before. It's called the Just Be Free meditation. It's a
Yes.
6-step meditation where you open up your heart and you also forgive people from your past, and even as long as when you were still young. So you can do that, and you just set that um, intention of forgiving um, everything that has happened, even yourself, actually forgiving yourself as well. So those are 4 very, very basic
All right.
tips I can give right now. But again, there's so many other things that we can discuss for each aspect
I
I mentioned.
know. This is
But I know we
very
only had 10
interesting.
minutes, so yeah. So I
But
just
don't
tried
worry
to make it
because
as simple as possible.
but as long as you promise that this won't be the last time we'll see you, because we would love to hear from you again. And we would like to know, what would your other tips be? Like maybe last few messages for everyone.
Well, my message right now is, especially with what's going on around us, first of all, let's learn the lesson of whatever lesson that we need to learn about our life and about ourselves. Like what I said earlier, assess where you're at, assess
Hmm.
how you're doing in all aspects of your life. And then once you understand where you're at, you would know, or you would have a better understanding of what to do or what measures to take to resolve or correct the current situation. And of course, it would be good to equip yourself with the right life tools, with the right techniques, with the right practices, with the right um, routines, like what the other guests have discussed earlier with um, conscious eating and
Hmm.
nutrition and exercise and all that. It would be good to incorporate everything that you're learning. It's different when you're just listening. It's also another thing once you apply it, right?
Yeah.
So it's good to, again, number 1, self realization, and then number 2 is self actualization. So if you
Hmm.
realize the things that you need to realize yourself, it doesn't stop there. You need to do
Yeah.
something about it, right? You need to
Yeah.
self actualize, you need to physicalize, you need to materialize the things that you need to do. So once you understand where you're at, make the steps of what you need to do. And of course, you also need to understand where you want to go, right? And
Mm.
then you execute. So especially now that with what's going on around us, right? The more we need to really take time, really take time to assess our life and what we're doing with our life, and start the healing process.